Yeah, you were molded by the past, don't mean you gotta live it still. Gone in a flash is how time will pass. Take a look at your dash, tell me how fast you living it. Taking all the energy from others, never giving it. So-called righteous soul, mining the gold of others. All got depleted until they were all defeated. How did this fetus develop into what we see as this conceited human being that no longer needs us? I used to wanna ask Jesus, but at the time I was a non-believer, stuck with a fever. Puffing the reefer's what I wish for. Was on the escape like bro man from the 5th floor. I let the 5th pour down my throat as I watch my reflection in glasses. My life flashes in my mind. I go back in time. One afternoon I sat on Saturn's moon after blowing some smoke out the window of my room. New thoughts is coming soon. Space is consumed by the impending doom. Stuck my head through the womb. New birth, new religion. I am the true and living. Stop questioning the life here that you were given. We are part of the all-knowing to those who listen. Watch the world change shape and colors start to glisten. Make it through your broken heart condition. Escape the mental prison, similar to WandaVision. I don't consider anyone as competition. My compositions are reflections of my mind condition. I live inside a space where time is missing. The way I see the world now is beyond description. No more prescriptions keeping me in dark addictions. A weaker mind is your only real opposition.
This message brought to you by the Mars native, who was brought to you by the planet Mars, who was brought to you by the galaxy, who was brought to you by the universe, who was brought to you by God, who was brought to you by God, who was brought to you by God.
Set the tone. Yeah. Fresh new year, fresh night, yeah. Walk with a bop like I really don't care. I don't care. Blows the shit, scorching, I'm lit. In the plain white tee, got immaculate drip. Cut from a different cloth like I'm shopping at Kip. Yeah. Welcome back. I go by Cash, a.k.a. Exec P. This is episode 194, Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Before we even begin, make sure you are liking, make sure you're sharing, make sure you're subscribing, you're doing all those things to keep this platform moving forward. You know what I mean? This is episode 194. If you don't know, and again, if you're here for the first time, I welcome you. If you're back, if you're Patreon, I appreciate your support financially and behind the scenes. But we about music, sports, entertainment, culture. That's what we talk about each and every week on this podcast. It drops Tuesdays at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the audio. Right now, we doing things a little bit different. We coming with the live videos, and then the audio will follow on Tuesday. So that's the one consistent thing. But you got to follow us on Don't Sleep_net on Twitter and Instagram. And we'll give you continuous updates on these live events or whatever. It's going to be random. It's going to be whenever I got time to do it and whenever I feel the need to do it with a dope artist. But speaking of dope artists, on episode 194, I got my man over 10 plus years. My man is a veteran. My man is one of those guys that's solid all around. Friend, very dope MC, fellow New Yorker, Queens native. Welcome back to the couch again with a phenomenal project. I was there, the Mars native. Yeah. I gotta press the button. I forgot what button it is over here. You know what I mean? What's going on, brother?
Dope intro, man. I appreciate those words, man. First of all, but I'm good, man. How are you?
I can't complain, man. I can't complain. I'm trying to be like you pretty soon, man. You know what I mean? You flourishing, the beard, your hair is back. How does that happen? How does that happen after retirement, man?
through the magic of not giving a fuck no more. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad.
You
From the
good,
magic of
man.
not giving a bleep no more.
Hey, man, I feel you. I feel
Yeah,
you, man. I feel you,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Le-
Yo, so the project is finally here, man. It's been quite some time. I know I've hit you offline. Like, yo, what's going on with the music, man? When you coming back? And you know you're a perfectionist, man, but you back. And it took a little bit of
yeah,
time, but it's good timing, man.
yeah, yeah. I think it came when it needed to come. You know what I'm saying? As you know, like you said, I'm a perfectionist, so I've been sitting on some of these songs for probably a year now, and I know a lot of my friends and fans were like, "Yo, come on, cough it up, give it to us." So I made it a point after the new year. I was like, you know what? Let me wrap this up, man, and just put it out so I can move onto bigger and better things. You know.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let me backtrack though. I know you well. Some of the people that are logging on here at this point, they know you well. But for the people that don't, man, let them know where you from, kind of your history in this music thing, and then we'll kind of go from there.
So I'm from Dominica. I was born in Dominica in the West Indies. Grew up in Queens. So I claim Queens very often because I don't feel like explaining where Dominica is to most people. But anyway, I'm a Queens native, man. You know what I'm saying? Since I was 6, joined the military and started traveling the world and did my thing. Served my country for 20 years. Retired. As far as music goes, I've been doing music, creating music probably since I was like 19. You know, I'm 38 now. You know what I'm saying? So I've been dabbling in this for quite some time. It's it's what I live for. You know what I'm saying? But I've always been like very much into music as far as listening. Like at any given moment, I am listening to music. A lot of various genres. I have a wide taste.
All right. So for
But yeah.
people that don't know, man, what's your background in terms of music? Where did it come? Where did the love for the music come from? Was it a family member? Was it just growing up around hip hop in a rich, hip hop environment that New York City is?
Well, I think first off, I think the love for music came number one from my DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like my father's a musician. He was in a band since he was a youngin', man. I'm talking like 13, 14 years old, in a band called Black Roots. You know what I'm saying? So it's in the blood. It's like I just can't help myself but to be involved in this. A lot of my influences, though, production wise, when it comes to producing, Pete Rock, Jay Dilla. You know what I'm saying? Madlib. Um, yeah, so that's my pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's like my energy right there. I love that. I love those producers. You know what I'm saying? Got RZA, of course, and of course, big name producers that everybody is just like everybody always throws their accolades out there for. But I like to show love to those in that little pocket right there because that's what started it for me. Seeing Dilla on the MPC, seeing Pete Rock on the MPC, I was like, I'm gonna give me an MPC. Yeah.
Sure. So clearly there was a wait. I did hit your line a few times, just every now and then, didn't bug you, but every now and then to let you know, hey man, when it's coming. But what was there a particular reason for the wait?
Uh, yeah, man. Like I was going through a huge transformation in my life, a huge transformation in my life, man. My way of thinking changed drastically, and there was one moment I was listening to my old songs, and I'm hearing myself, and for the first time I didn't even recognize my own voice. You know what I'm saying? I heard a lot of
Mm.
insecurity, I heard a lot of fear. You know what I'm saying? And so much anger. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn. After finding myself again and listening to the old tracks, I was like, yeah, that ain't me. So I wanted to really, rediscover myself before even putting my voice back on the mic. Before recording my voice again, I need to use my voice, not that other voice that I was using. So that's what took so long. Yeah.
Was part of this freeing experience because I feel like this project, as opposed to others, have been. It sounds a little bit more free, like you're more sure of who you are, like you mentioned. How what were there things that happened in your life that kind of transitioned you to be able to speak more freely from a because from for me from my standpoint listening it was like okay he's relieving himself of things that have bothered him in the past.
Correct. Correct. There was a moment. There was one moment. This whole album, man, it's a very spiritual one. I had a spiritual journey with a friend of mine, and if you know what I mean by that, you know what I mean by that. You know what I'm saying? I took a very spiritual journey, and I found myself just meditating on a lot of things in my mind. I was able to give up a lot of fear, a lot of hatred, a lot of, the feeling of loss and defeat. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I just took a knee, man. I took a knee in front of this tree, and this tree was talking to me. I know it sounds crazy, but this tree was talking to me, and the tree told me, yo, like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do this by yourself. And then I started just letting a lot of things go and forgiving myself for things I considered failures, and forgiving others that, put me or might have had a hand in putting me in this negative state of mind, in this negative place that I was at. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you see on the cover, you see me kneeling in front of this tree. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was at the moment my life changed. You know what I'm saying? Like right there at that moment in front of that tree. And then this album, bro, like I just wanted to write about that experience, and every song on this album is that experience, this very spiritual journey and change and lessons learned at that moment.
Okay. I like to keep it flowing with the music because this is what this is about. You know what I mean? And I know we'll get into more deeper topics here, but what song do you want to play, man? I
Yeah.
got my favorites on here, but what song would you want to play?
Listen, bro, I've heard these songs a million times.
All
I
right.
would like to leave it up to you
Okay, I got
to
you. I
pick a
got you.
song and play. You know
All
what I'm
right,
saying?
well, I'm gonna play my
Yeah, and then
song
we'll
that,
talk.
that
I'll
feels
let you
like
know
a
where my mind
put
was
your light.
at.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the song that makes me feel like wave the lighters from side to side. Like, you're doing something
Okay.
different on here. I feel like on this particular song is one of those songs to where I'm like, okay, this is Mars, not the Queen's MC. This is and nothing's wrong with being a rapper and an MC, but this is like full
Right.
fledged rap artist. You know
This
what I mean? So, without further ado, we're gonna play
that.
"What's the Reason." That's track number 2 off of "I Was There."
Yeah. What's the reason? What's the reason for it all? That we hide all the pain away. What's the reason? Yeah. That we cry for comfort, babe. What's the reason? 1, 2. Tell me what you gon' do. Yeah, yeah. Word. If you ever need a friend, someone you can depend on, you got a friends on. Put your friends on. I got love for you. I got hugs for you. Yeah. You're not alone in this shit. You're not alone in this shit. Word. What's the reason that we hide all the pain away?
If this is your first time hearing Mars, you like what you heard, go buy the album, please. Buy. You see all that equipment behind him and all that fancy schmancy stuff he got. It costs money. We want to keep promoting him and keep him putting out music and stuff like that. I joke and I kid, but that's one of the best ways that you guys can actually show love and pay it forward in terms of what he's doing here, man. So, my follow-up question to this song, man, is being from NYC, being lyrically driven.
Yeah.
how do you let go of that just to feel in the track? Because you know some of these tracks on here you're just feeling. You know what I mean? You're not rap barring my head off. You just
Yeah.
giving what you feel. How was that different from your past projects?
Man, well, the past projects was before my moment, right? My spiritual moment. And before I was just trying to be something. I was trying to become something. I was trying to be a rapper, or I was trying to rap. You know what I'm saying? So the words came off like, let me see how I can impress people. Let me see how I can get people to react to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? With the wordplay and just getting crazy with it. Um, but after that journey, man, all that just went out the window. I just didn't care anymore. I just didn't care anymore. Like, I don't care what people think. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I just started writing from this new person that I rediscovered. You know what I'm saying? Like I take the ego, and I take the ego and I just like move it aside for a second, so I can just record. You know what I'm saying? And do the work and just get out of my own way. And then what comes out is what comes out. And then I listen to it like, a day later, 2 days later, like, yo, did I do that? That was me. You know what I'm saying? It's like mind blowing. But once I was able to get my ego out the way and just write from this, I don't know how to explain it. I guess it's the spirit. It's like the core, man, the thing that makes you you. When you're able to touch that and just open up a gate from this to that microphone, it's different. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that song you just played, I didn't even write that. I just got on the mic and started saying it because I was in this moment where I was thinking about this kid who tried to kill himself. You know what I'm saying? That we worked with, and then luckily he was unsuccessful and he was found. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking for myself, when I was there in that mind state, I wish somebody could have helped me the way my friend Chris helped me. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could pass it on to this kid, but I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, um, so I felt for him. You know what I'm saying? I really felt for him, and I came home, made that beat, captured the feeling of what I felt, and made it into a beat. And then I just got on a microphone, really just to test the microphone. But then I just stayed there and started talking. And I was talking to the kid, and I was talking to everybody else who might need this. You know what I'm saying? In this world,
Yeah.
man, these hugs, man, these words of appreciation and just thank yous, and the world needs more of that, man. So I was just feeling a lot of that, and I just went on the mic and just said that. The second
Right.
verse is what was written.
Got you. Got you. So what
Yeah.
makes you feel at this point in your life that free to expose those thoughts that are littered throughout this project, previous projects, but more so the transparency is evident here. What makes you feel like, all right, I can finally talk about this from a standpoint of not really giving a shit about what anybody has to say? Because I know with you and I in the past, and just a lot of my homies, male friends, we grin and bear it so much, you know what I mean? And we just
Yeah.
keep on pushing
Yeah.
on. Every time I see you, even in the times that we've been in relatively close quarters in terms of just same station at the same place and stuff like that, it was always in a musical standpoint, or we was going to see some ladies and it was drinks involved. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was never
Right.
from a human standpoint.
Right. It was always from a surface level.
Right.
It,
Right.
the things that we did were very surface level things. You know what I'm saying? I think it just kind of comes with moments in life where you don't really understand who you are, or don't really know who you are. And I think a lot of that comes with the ego. You know what I'm saying? The ego drives a lot of that, man. When we're out there, like you said, doing your thing, you're doing it probably because you feel like this is something I should be doing. Question mark. You know what I'm saying? My friends are doing it, so maybe I should be doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then it's, but once you're able to kill those thoughts, that unsurety that you have in your heart, you know, what's left is just you, the thing that the thing that existed before you had a physical body. You know what I'm saying? The thing that was inserted in that physical body before the world tainted it. You know what I'm saying? And gave you insecurities and gave you worries. Uh, that thing, man, is your ego. You know what I'm saying? It's there to protect you, but it can also be very harmful. You know what I'm saying? So I think once I was able to drop my ego, through meditation and a lot of like reflection. You know what I'm saying? That's when things changed for me. That's when things changed for me. That was the catalyst right there. You know.
Okay. So staying there, with that piece, I'll go back to the music part of everything and kind of what you do in terms of all the stuff you do with the music, man. You playing the guitar now, you're audio
Right.
engineer, you're doing all these different type of things. Can you let the people know
Yeah.
not kind of like how deeply you're involved with each and every project?
Okay. So every album that you hear, every sound that comes off of that album, I played. Right. So my latest albums, there's no samples. There's nobody else playing instruments for me. I play everything. I play the piano. If you hear guitar, that's me on the guitar. If you hear drums being played, I'm playing those drums. You know what I'm saying? Like everything you hear, I play. And I mix. I sit there and I mix it and then I master it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm pretty much a one man team, one man band. You know what I mean? That's another reason why a lot of my stuff takes so much time. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know if you guys understand how much time this stuff takes, but Cash,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time, man. And but yeah, so like I practice piano every day. I practice guitar, you know what I'm saying? So I got efficient at guitar in my late 20s. I just told myself like, yo, I want to be a musician. I don't want to be just some producer. Yeah, I don't want to be just some rapper. Like I want to be a musician. Music first. Music first. And then when you put the music first, ego last. Everything in between you can rearrange how you want it. But you put the music first, man, and it becomes this thing where it's not rap. I ain't no rapper. I'm not a
Right.
rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate, for some reason I hate saying that. Like, I ain't no rapper, because you hear people rapping, it's very egotistical, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people just got these personalities out front that's not them, and it's like it's so see-through, and it's like it's a very egotistical thing. For me, when I write, it's a non-egotistical thing. You know what I'm saying? I try to drop my guard as much as possible. That's why a lot of my music is so personal, But yeah, when it comes to making music, man, I do everything. I do everything. I would like some help every now and then. So if you guys know some engineers and whatnot, I'm getting lazy, man. Try to do this shit out myself.
Yo, man, it takes a community, man. Like that's what I'm starting to find out is like I won't get anything out. Like I got Mars, I got everything possible you could think of to shoot a music video at a high level. Like at a high level. You think I've shot in any videos for any of my I mean, no, man. Like
I don't think you have.
No. And I'm cool. I'm great with being in the camera. I'm great with being theatrical, but it just gets to a point where you gotta be like, yo, I need balance, because you know what I mean? Like this woman that's married to me right now, she won't be married to me if I take on video. You know what I mean? If I do all these other things that I
add more, right?
Add more. I'm already pushing it as is, you know what I mean? So it definitely takes a team and time and setting that down, man. And I'm finding solace in community right now, and just kind of working with other people, and just like, all right, man, I trust you with this. Go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? It don't matter to me no more.
I gotta really dive into that mindset. Like I'm trying my best to be more open to things like that, because I'm like a greedy little troll with my stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I don't want nobody touching it. I don't want nobody looking at it. Don't look.
I don't think they can do it as good as me. They don't have the same vision I have. Will they take care of it? There's a lot of trust that goes into hand. It's like, having every album is like having a baby. And do you just want to have do you just want to basically get to the point to where you at that mark where you're about to have the baby, and then you be like, you know what, go raise this baby? Because that's why I feel like when I'm handing my mastery, handing my mix off to somebody, is like, I pray they get it right.
Up.
Yeah, don't mess this up. Or else I'm gonna have to do it all over again anyway.
Right.
You know what
and then
mean?
They're gonna hear it, and they're gonna be like, yo, what happened to the mix I gave you? I'm like,
I didn't like it. And then you gotta have that uncomfortable conversation.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I know exactly what you mean.
It's crazy, man.
But that's part of the game, man. We gotta open up,
For
You gotta
sure, for
open up.
sure, for sure. Any plans on getting speaking the community, getting out into the community, getting around the people to show this new outlook on life?
Actually, yes. Actually, yes, man. So, I don't have any solid plans right now, but I do have. It's part of my to-do list. You know what I'm saying? To find out, what's going on. Because right now I'm in Raleigh. I'm staying in Raleigh, and trying to find out what's in Raleigh and where I can go and perform and just get to perform for people. You know what I'm saying? And look people in their eyes and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? Get that sense of community that we are all missing because we're always, behind screens and on social media. You know what I mean? I would love to do that. You know. So again, if I'll take any help that anybody has. If you guys know a spot or you know people, let me know, please. Yeah.
Yeah, and same here. I'm trying to find a spot that appreciates the type of hip hop I do. You know what I mean? Because that's
Yeah.
the other thing. I can't go to a certain
Right.
location to where they just stick out like a
Right.
sore thumb. That may be a good thing and a bad thing. You know what I mean? I'll
Right.
hang.
Right.
I'll always hang my hat on if I rap well, then I'll do better than anybody that's in that crowd. You know what I mean? That's amongst
Yeah.
me and my peers. But sometimes, man, they don't be wanting to hear that bullshit. I think I heard some shit that Nas said recently where Nas was like, "Hey, man, I don't even want to hear me in the club. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go hear something else because I
Yeah.
hear me so much."
Right. Of course. Who wants to listen to themselves constantly? You know what I'm saying? I played the album one time after it came out because I didn't want to make sure it sounded good as on these platforms, and I haven't played it, bro. Like I'm so tired of hearing it at this point. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, this is, even though I am tired of listening to it. Like when I do listen to it, this album makes me feel so proud, man. It makes me feel so good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, it just gives me joy, man. It just gives me joy. So, just hearing myself and hearing the voice I use, it gives me so much joy to listen to this album. So this is by far, hands down, my favorite album. I'm gonna give it like a month, and I'm gonna come back and listen to it again, though. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
But for everybody else, all of y'all listening, it's brand new to you. So go ahead and press play, put it on repeat. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy that. Go through that journey, man. I made sure these songs would take you through adventures.
Right, right. So what's some other goals that you have, man, with the year still being relatively young and you know what I mean? So are you trying to put out multiple projects this year? Are you looking to collaborate, produce for other people? What do you have in store?
All the things you just mentioned, actually. So I have a lot of instrumentals just sitting around that I just don't use. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna remaster them and put those out and just create instrumental albums. And create new stuff too as well. And I'm gonna have a series called Escape Room. So that's what it's called right now. When it comes out, it might be called something different, but Escape Room is the idea. You know what I'm saying? And then create a series of instrumental albums on top of that. And I'm working with this this dude named Genesis the God, and he you might have heard him on my the last song on the I'll Be the Villain album, right? It's called The Almighty, and the dude ripped it. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like I want to work with him. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about putting something together for a while now, as usual. That's how it tends to go, I guess. But now is the time. Excuse me. Now is the time to get that done. So that's coming. You know what I'm saying? And as far as projects from me, you know, um, we'll see what happens. I'm always making music, and there's always going to be something put together. There will be another album, most likely, towards the end of the year. In between those other projects. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on musically for me. Also, yeah, I'll be starting school in Full Sail. You know what I'm saying?
So you going down to
Because
Florida? You going
because
down to Florida to making that move?
actually, I'm doing the online. I'm doing
Okay,
the
okay.
online joint. Yeah, I did. I
You
crunched the
already know
numbers,
a
and it
lot of that
just
stuff. You know a lot of that stuff. You don't need to be in person.
yeah. That's a fear of mine too. Like I wonder how, because I've been doing this for 20 years, and I took a tour of the school, and they sat down, and they were like, "Hey kids, we're gonna show you how to make a beat," and I'm like, "Oh sheesh,
Were you being
oh
snobbish? Were
sheesh,
you
oh
being
golly
snobbish?
gee."
Were you being snobbish on your
I
walk
was being
around?
snobbish, bro. In my head, though, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, in my head, yes, but not out loud. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
But yeah, they were like, okay, and they talk about, well, step one, click on the first track, and we're using Logic of all things,
Oh,
thing that I use
Lord.
every day. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think the first few semesters are gonna be very painful for me, cause yeah, and they were like, "Oh, this is how you record." And by the time they were done talking, I had layers done. I had like a full instrumental made and with chorus and bridges and everything. So yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go. Pray for me, but
Will do,
there's
man.
always something to learn though. There's always something to learn. I hope they can teach me something, man. 'Cause
Hey, man, I
I don't
got
want to
Chris in the
use all
chat.
my money.
I got Chris in the chat. He said, I think Mars can produce scores for movies or video games too. What do you say to that?
Yes, yes, that is actually a big dream of mine. So, I love video games. I love video games. I love art in general, man, but video games really stick out for me and doing music for video games, you know, I think it's right up my alley because a lot of my songs that I start, I'm pretty much imagining like video game scenarios, you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm picturing like, some dude in Elden Ring running across a snowy valley and stuff. Like I picture that, and I was like, what would that sound like musically? And then I just put it, and but then when I start adding drums and stuff to it, it becomes something different, right? It becomes like a hip hop track or whatever kind of track I'm making. But it always starts off where I'm trying to capture like a feeling. You know what I'm saying? I love capturing feelings, moments, and then if I could capture that feeling sonically, I feel accomplished. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did this whole album. So yeah, I think I would be great at capturing moments and providing a feeling. And what better avenue to use my music for than video games and TV shows and movies? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. I saw recently a couple weeks ago, and I meant to hit you up, but I don't have my son borrows my PlayStation 5. Well, pretty much he owns it at this point. But I get to use
Yeah.
it every now and then. But I saw one of my favorite games that you were playing there, and I was like, man, I'm thinking Mars definitely don't want to smoke because I'm still good at it. Street Fighter. Street Fighter was one
Oh,
of those.
what?
Street Fighter. I
Come
saw it in the
on,
background. I saw it in the back.
bro.
I got every
Listen,
last one. That's one
listen.
game. Well, 2K in Madden. Those are the
Don't.
three games I will talk shit until you beat me. You know what I mean? Well,
Until I
where's
beat you.
it got? Hey man,
Until
look,
I
man.
beat you.
The PlayStation
You're
is just
the
a few
mountain
feet
I gotta
away.
climb.
It's a few
Listen, man.
feet away.
Yeah,
It's a few
listen,
feet
man.
away. We can end,
Yo,
we
you
can end
say,
this
yo,
now.
right
We
after
can,
this interview, bro.
we can end this interview now.
Listen, man. Street Fighter. Listen,
Yo,
there's
I'm
not
telling
many
you,
people
man.
who could touch me in Street. I got one rival. I got one dude who rivals me. He beats me a lot. I ain't gonna say his name because F him. You know what I'm saying? But
You don't
anyway,
wanna give
he
him
knows
no
what I'm
shine?
talking about. He ain't getting no shine. He's a Vega user, man.
Oh,
But
man.
anyway, but nah. My boy Chad, he's nice. He's dumb nice, and I actually get better from him. So there's not many people who come off the street and talk loud and really got that fire. So I'm curious to see where you at with it, brother. Let's
All
go.
right, man. I can
Let's
solve
go.
that curiosity real quick. It's, I just let me get my updates in order,
We should
and
do
I'll
this.
be right there.
We should do this live. We should do this
I'm
live.
not opposed. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that.
Bet.
You know what I mean. I'm streaming too. Never know. Might get into DSC gaming. DSC. Never know.
Right.
Yeah, man. All right,
Yeah.
another question I wanted to ask you though, man, was like social media thing, man. I'm finding myself, of course, kind of now that I'm doing this thing a little bit more so on a solo tip. Shout out to my man Prez. How, are you kind of conquering that arena too in terms of just getting out there on whatever apps that you're utilizing for people can find you?
I'm 38 years old, man.
It's improving,
and it's very hard.
It's
It's very
improving
hard.
though.
I don't know what it is. It's improving. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I'm okay. Here's the thing. I love social media. I'm not one of those people who just like anti-social media, but I'm not one of those people who like to be in the camera all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like, hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. Like, it's hard for me to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I also understand that I have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I do want to make connections with people, you have to put aside that that feeling and do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. You know what I mean? Like you never know what you say or what you do might affect somebody somehow positively, and they might have heard something that you said that might help them out that day. You know what I'm saying? And why not? So I'm trying to be more active on social media. You know, um, but yeah, I was thinking about doing a podcast with my boys too. You know, just something small. You know what I'm saying? Because we also talk about a lot of things, a lot of different subjects. So I think it'll be good to capture these conversations. And oftentimes, I think we're goddamn funny. So it's like, why aren't we recording this? So that's in the works. But yeah, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing more social media, man. I actually need to.
I struggle with it often, but we do a podcast every week, so I kind of have no choice but to be on social media quite frequently. So it is what it is, man. I love doing this with you guys, but also what I love doing is listening to "I Was There" by Mars Native. So the next song we got up
Hell yeah.
is, I don't know, I'm on finally Secret Weapon, Oil Painting. Which one? Which one should we do? Which one should we do? Let's
Let's
go
do.
with.
Oh, you pick. You pick.
All right, I'm gonna go with
They're all good.
yeah, let's go with Secret Weapon. Secret Weapon.
All right.
Show them what it is. Yeah. Show them what it is.
When I speak to God, He speaks back through my music, so this beat is hard. I speak words full of flames till the mic is charred. I keep my eyes to the heavens cause my sight is scarred. Cause everything that I've seen in this life is hard. I'm only here till my light departs. Until then I will fight the dark. I'm feeling Superman, yo, I might be Clark. My pen travels faster than a lightning spark. Every time I jot rhymes down, time just stops. I'm no longer concerned if it might be hot. If I can't write from the heart, then it might just pop. If it ain't true from the start, then I might just stop. It ain't worth planting seeds if it's lifeless crop. You know my back bleeds when the knife was dropped, but still I proceed to give the glory to Pops. The father of us all got us all in the plot.
All right, that's Secret Weapon off of I
Yeah.
Was There. Secret Weapon off of I Was There, man. So another thing that
Yeah.
I noticed in the project, man, was you kind of really I don't know if we ever talked about your relationship, your spiritual relationship, but you talked a lot more on this project, if I'm not mistaken, than others about your relationship with God. You know what I mean? What's shifted?
Yeah.
You being able to speak about that now, or was it any one thing or series of things that happened to where you speaking a lot more about your relationship with God?
Um. Again, I'll say I'll point back to that catalyst, that one moment. You know what I'm saying? That spiritual awakening. Let's just call it that. That I had. You know what I mean? I had a moment where I just felt um like nothing, but at everything at the same time. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was so insignificant, which humbled the hell out of me. But I felt like without me, nothing else would exist. Like I'm just part of like something greater. And for the first time, I felt that greater energy. You know what I'm saying? I always, I grew up Catholic. You know, you do the Catholic thing. But I always grew up like wondering like who God is, what God is. You know what I'm saying? And just always kind of looking like where is he up there? Is it a he? What is God? You know what I'm saying? Who is God? And then when I had that moment, man, everything just became clear to me. And it was like undeniable that you know that something greater than myself exists, and I'm a part of it. It's not like I'm not a part of it. I'm very much a part of it, and it's a part of me. You know what I'm saying? And it humbled me, man. It humbled the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? Brought me to my knees, bro. And so
Oh man.
ever since then, yeah, we'll talk offline. But yeah, it brought me to my knees, man. And then um, ever since then, it was just undeniable for me. It was just undeniable for me. Like, there's no question. There's no question, like, if there is a God or what is God. There's no question for me anymore. It's just, God just is. You know what I mean? Period. Full stop. And once you live like that, once you just understand that, the pressures of the world, like, they don't seem as big anymore. Things don't seem as life threatening anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just find myself at peace, bro. I found myself at peace, and so yeah, I do refer to God often on this album. Like when I speak to God, He speaks back through my music. So this beat is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't make that beat. Like I just opened myself up, and then it happened. That's the only way I can explain this. I don't.
Must be nice to be
I open my
retired
soul up.
to have awakenings like that. I can't wait to have the same awakenings.
I got you.
I can't
I
wait
got
to
you.
have the same awakenings.
Listen,
But I want to revert back to the Street Fighter chatter and the awakenings of you getting your ass whooped here shortly. My man Carrie says, I used to beat this guy at Marvel vs. Capcom handicap.
Finished.
Is there any truth?
Handicap.
Is this any truth to Carrie's statements?
There is truth to that. There is truth to that. There is truth to that. But let me explain.
Let me explain. Okay,
though.
I'll give you the floor.
Hold on.
Full screen.
Can I have the floor?
You got the floor.
Full screen. I got from here to here.
Yeah, here to here.
All right, bet. All right, so Carrie used to, every now and then he used to beat me in Marvel vs. Capcom with the handicap, right? You know what the handicap was? My damage was all the way to the bottom, and his damage was all the way to the right. So he probably had to hit me maybe 4 or 5 times. Maybe one super would kill me. But he had to catch me, and he had to hit me. But I was so nice, I still beat him the majority of the time with minimal damage output. So the handicap was very dramatic. So yeah, there's no lies there. You know what I'm saying? I was that nice. I am that nice.
Come on, Carrie. Carrie,
Cash.
come on. You got to give particulars, man. You can't be making these type of comments here, man. You getting your ass whooped when he come on, Carrie, man.
I had to give him the handicap. I had to give him the huge handicap. Yeah.
Come on, Carrie, man. Knock it off, man. All right, next joint I wanna play, man, is Self-Love off of I Was There, man. I like this joint a lot, man. So we gonna rock out to that real quick. Let me turn the volume up.
Bet.
Wait a minute, time out. I got a joke for a second.
Okay.
Were you sipping? What was you sipping on? What was you sipping on when you made Let Love Speak For? Before we get into self-love, let's just get into some. Before we get into self-love, I said my man was having a ball on Let Love Speak For Us. He was harmonizing. I rock with it for the fact that it seemed like he was just like, fuck it, man. I'm not fucking in terms of the artistry and making it sound good, but just like you had a level of not give a fuck. Yeah, not give a fuck.
Yeah, there was lots of I don't give a fuck on that song. So that song right there, my mom was visiting me, man, when I was in Louisiana. She was visiting me. And then she was, vacuuming, and I'm in the studio making a beat, whatever, and recording, and I'm just doing my thing. And she's like back there vacuuming. I'm just talking I'm just in my head with the mic on. I'm like, man, this mic so loud you can hear the fucking vacuum in the back. You know what I mean? And then I'm just like talking and I'm trying to think of a chorus. Usually as I'm thinking, I'm usually like you doing scatting or whatever. And so as I'm thinking as a chorus, I'm just let love speak for us. You know what I mean? I was like, that's a good idea. And the next day I would come back and try to put words to that. I couldn't find any words. So I just fucking left it, man.
Hey man, that's a
I figured let love.
Not a mistake, but that's a beautiful inconvenience. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I left it there on purpose. I said, let love speak for us. I'm like trying to find words. Let love speak for us. You know what I'm saying? So when I opened up and I wrote that song and then I started writing the lyrics to it, I just let the love speak, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
I meditate inside the sun about where I'm from, what my purpose is since life begun. You know what I'm saying? And I just let it go, bro.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I've been leaning more into what I feel as opposed to trying to have the best bars, because nowadays, as I just hit that golden age of 40 here recently, man. I just feel like
Congrats.
I don't care. Thank you, bro. I don't really don't care about who thinks I'm the nicest. I just care about who feels the music. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily have to
Exactly.
have the punchlines and stuff like that. And I love the guys that are amazing at that do that effortlessly. I don't do
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
effortlessly. It takes some thought process.
Right.
So if you
Takes a
got
lot
the
of
gift,
thinking.
if you got the gift to gab to do that, you know what I mean. So be it. You know what I mean. But I like
Right.
that you just felt on that track, man. So I'm gonna let the people listen to Let Love Speak for us real quick.
Bet.
Gotta capture the ideas, know what I'm saying? Let love speak for us. 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 I meditate inside the sun about where I'm from, what my purpose is since life begun. After I write the scroll, I might be done or might become a better version of myself, the past removed slightly from. Collect my personalities until my psyche's one. Only reality I accept is inside these drums. Between kicks and snares, recite my affairs, my likes and despair, till I'm shining bright with no fear. Let the world gaze upon my unfathomable love. Let them drink from my blood, see a world that never was.
All right,
Fall
that's
into
Let
your place
Love
inside
Speak
the
for us.
universe.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that one, man, I was like, all right, man, he just cooling. He confident in the album at this point. You know what I mean? On what
Yeah.
he's doing. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, I'll add this one in here and let it rock out, man. So
Yeah.
oh my bad. I thought you my bad. I thought you was about to say something.
No,
I was trying to
just,
pause. I was pausing
throw
for
ad libs
effect.
in there.
Oh no.
When I wrote that joint, man, I was actually like, it was a day where it was, it was been like, it was like a week where it was overcast, and then one day the sun came out, and I was like, oh man, let me go out and I just sat in the sun and just sat and like absorbed it. You know what I'm saying? Charged up like Goku in this mug, and then I just wrote about that, and I was just like, why not write about that? You know what I'm saying? I meditate inside the sun about where I'm from, what my purpose since this life begun. You know what I'm saying? After I write the scroll, I might be done or might become a better version of myself, the past removed slightly from. Collect my personalities until my psyche's one. Only reality I accept is inside these drums. Between kicks and snares, recite my affairs, my likes and despairs, until I'm shining bright with no fear. Let the world gaze upon my unfathomable love. Let them drink from my blood, see a world that never was. Fall into your place inside the universe. Those hoping for reincarnation are seeking Buddha first. Once you find peace, you no longer look for who to curse or who's the worst person in your life that you would choose to murk. Soul of power packed to the core, back to the person you were when you were laughing before. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this is one of the first freestyles that we got, or performances. But hey, man, this is your show, man. This is your show,
It's
man.
my show.
This
You know what I mean?
your show, man. This is your show, man. Keep going if you want, man. I did want to ask you one question. How much of and this is not comparing, this is not a comparison, but we always do this as people that listen to music and stuff like that. I got a Kid Cudi vibe from this project.
Okay.
In terms of, I like Kid Cudi, so I like what he does musically. In terms of, he can rap too, but I like what he does just in terms of just the feeling that he brings into his projects and stuff like that. Has anybody given you that type of feedback on this project, or what type of feedback have you gotten, or comparisons have you gotten in terms of this project?
A few people hit me up online, or they make, they'll leave little comments behind. I didn't get a Kid Cudi comparison, but I will agree with you when I say, Kid Cudi, he's good at capturing those feelings, that feeling. You know what I'm saying? He's good, really good at that. I got like a lot of like MF Dooms. I got some Rock Marcianos. You know what I'm saying? What else I get? Black Thought, which is all these are huge compliments, by the way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like that humbled me, man. I'm like, these are like some of my favorite rappers, and no way am I trying to emulate them. Let me just get that out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like anyone else. I'm just out here being me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it just happens to come out the way it does. You know. Um, but yeah, so a lot of those. As far as production wise, I don't get a lot of comparisons. But you know, the people who do understand that I do the production side, they give me love. You know what I'm saying? And it feels good, man. Like it feels really good. I put a lot of time and effort into this stuff, and it feels good. It feels
Yeah,
good.
if it'd be a one-stop shop. Yo, who did the beat? That'd be me. Yo, who
Mm-hmm.
mixed it? That'd be me. You know what I mean? That that
Mm-hmm.
feels good to get that validation when people ask those
Yeah.
type of nuanced questions in terms of how it's made. You know what I mean? One of the last
Yeah.
questions I wanted to ask you, man. I know we not pressed for time, but we don't want to keep the people too long. Um,
Yeah.
how has your recording process changed from, let's say, maybe the time that we met, let's say Germany time frame, 10, 12 years ago,
Okay.
all the
Okay.
way up until now? How has it changed in terms of your process?
Um. So the process didn't change much. It was the equipment. A lot of the equipment changed. I got better monitor speakers. I got a better microphone. Um, I got a better audio interface. I actually went over to Mac, and everybody knows I was never a Mac dude. You know, I was never an Apple dude. You know what I'm saying? Like Apple's cool and all that. You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
No,
Anyway, so
I
I
won't
got the
argue. I
Mac.
won't argue with you. I
Yeah, don't.
disagree,
Yeah, that's
but
it.
I won't
Let's
argue. Okay,
don't
okay.
don't argue. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I became an Apple head. I got me a Mac for Logic because I knew it was an industry standard. But and I will say that computer, once I started using it, it changed my opinion on MacBooks, man. But Logic changed the way I see the mapping of music. You know what I mean? And it really helped. Everything is right there in front of you. All the buttons you want are right there in front of you. The mix is right there. So it's like even as I'm producing the beat, I'm mixing the beat. You know what I'm saying? So I could do everything. It's like taking a buckets of paint, like just throwing it on the canvas, and then I just start like moving things around and rearranging things, and then every instrumental to me is like a oil painting. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, and I also went on YouTube, right? I had to get over myself, and I used to think like my music was just like immaculate. It's the best thing in the world. Why isn't anybody rocking with it? You know what I'm saying? But then I go back and listen to my old stuff, and I'm like, damn, that's muddy. Damn, that's unprofessional. That's like sloppy. You know what I'm saying? And then but it has the potential. So I also got out of my own way and started studying. Let me see what this person does with their mixing. Let me see what this person does with their mastering. So I took pieces from everywhere, from a lot of people on the internet and on YouTube, and friends that might make music, not, you know what I'm saying? And then I just humble myself and receive the information. You know me, Cash, man. I used to be a hard headed knucklehead. I ain't trying to hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I started receiving. I opened myself up to learning more, and then now the production just sounds even better. To the point where I surprise myself. I'm like, damn. And then it's only gonna get better continuously. So yeah, YouTube and Logic, and also just letting go. Stop trying. Just stop trying.
All right,
Just do. Just do.
just be,
Yeah.
do.
Just be. Yeah.
Facts. All right, so I'll leave you with this, man. Often at times when I'm listening to music and it's my homies and stuff like that, I'm a lot more harder on y'all than I would be anybody else because I don't think you would want it any other way.
Correct.
But listening to this project, I like for mood switches. I like for changes. Definitely while I'm listening, I like what I like in terms of just my bass. You know what I mean? But I like other things. I like the Kid Cudis of the world. I like I don't box myself in
Yeah.
terms of what I enjoy musically. You know what I mean? Because music is music.
Right.
I was there. It's
Right.
music, brother. I was there. It's music, brother. And I'm so proud of you for how far you've come on a personal side and a artistic side. So keep doing what you're doing. Work on that social media a little bit more. Be present. Don't
Yeah.
whore yourself out for it, but just be present because I think the same people I frequent and rock with. I think if you get connected or whatever the case may be with those folks on the Twitters of the world, the hip hop Twitters and the
Yeah,
IG, there's no shadow of a doubt there's a space for you, for people that love what you do. You know what I'm saying? There's no shadow of a doubt. So
indeed.
I would say use
Appreciate
it
it.
to your benefit, not to your detriment, man. And I'm excited what
Yeah.
2023 has for you, man, and whatever it has for us. If we start rocking together again, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely opening up that community thing again, where you know what I'm saying. Like
Yes.
let's work. If I'm tired, I'm calling you to mix. You know what I mean? If I'm busy,
Exactly.
you know, I'm gonna start reaching out and stop acting like I don't know these talented people that do these great things. You know what I mean? So
You're
that's
right. It's
something
a
that I'm
beautiful
gonna
thing,
do.
bro.
So
Send your tracks my way, bro.
congratulations,
I'll make some
congratulations
shit
again,
anytime you
brother.
want, man.
For sure,
Thanks,
congratulations
man.
again.
Thanks,
But,
man. And go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, do you got any last words and stuff like that for
Oh,
folks out here before I take you out? Make sure you mention your social media, where they can find your album, and anything else you want
gotcha.
to mention.
All right, so let's just get that out the way. I'm the Mars Native. Anywhere you want to find me, I'm the Mars Native on Instagram, Facebook. Just Google it. You know what I'm saying? And but most of the traffic comes through Instagram. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Got a YouTube page, the Mars Native YouTube pages. YouTube page as well. Got videos up there. Um, and feel free to hit me up too, man. I talk to many of you guys on my social media. Some strangers become friends. You know what I'm saying? So hit me up. I'm willing to talk to anybody about anything. Yeah, but the album is out now. I was there. You can find that on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, wherever you find music is there. You know what I'm saying? But I also have a Bandcamp page where you can go to Bandcamp and look for the Mars Native, or I can share the link later. Bandcamp, you buy the album directly from me. Yeah, as you guys already know, I'll need like 1 million streams to make. Well, how much? It's like 3 cents. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting 1 million streams.
Oh, so
You know what I'm saying?
Bandcamp.
So
I don't mean to
yeah,
interrupt, Mars. Bandcamp
yeah,
on Bandcamp Fridays, the first Friday of the month, people, if you rock with Mars, it's 93% of the proceeds he gets back. Any other time, I want to say it's about 85% of the proceeds he gets back. They pay the artist immediately. I'm an artist myself. I'm
yeah.
not plugging myself, but I just want to know that, let y'all know I'm tapped in. We don't do it for free. We do it for the love. But if we want to make this our job to do it full time, can you imagine what Mars would do if he did this full time? Come
That's the
on.
goal.
Come on,
That's
man.
the
You know
goal.
what I mean?
That's the
So
goal.
so so that's how you guys do it. Yes, I know you do your Apple. Yes, I know you do your Tidal and you like your Spotify and you like the music spoon fed to you. But that don't help the artist. It's just a random stat that people post out there. It doesn't feed them. I can have 2 billion streams and be in a 1 bedroom apartment barely making ends meet. So do you want that for your boy Mars? I don't think you do. I don't think he. I don't think
I don't,
he
I don't
even
think they
close to
do.
that.
I don't think
I don't
they
think
do.
he's close
I don't
to
think
that. I
they
don't think
do.
he's even nowhere
You
close to
know?
that. But what I'm saying is, your dollars and speak volumes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he can do a lot more with that. But I'll toss it right back to you, bro. I
that
heard
was
him.
that was my dog in the back.
He said, "Wrap
My
wrap
dog.
this shit up, B. Wrap this shit up,
Yeah,
B."
yeah. You wrap that gavel up. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Go
nah,
ahead.
but yeah. So anyway, yeah. Just thank you to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who's a fan on the page, and keep the love coming, man. I'm gonna keep giving out the love. Keep the love coming, man. Let's keep it going. This world needs it. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, also, yeah. There's the shirt. You could buy merchandise, of course, on Teespring. Teespring, and look for Planet Mars, and you'll find my shirts and whatnot. Yeah, all kinds of goodies up in there. But yeah, again, thank you everybody. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys enjoy the album. Please just hit me up and let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's what's
And I
up.
wanted to say shout out to everybody that tapped in on YouTube and Facebook. We're gonna do these things a lot more. So make sure you follow Don't Sleep Network on YouTube. Make sure you follow Don't Sleep _net on Instagram and Twitter for the latest updates for anything that we're doing with artists. Just know, if you like my musical taste and what we've done thus far over the last almost 4 years of this podcast, then just know, man, when I interviewing somebody, the music is pretty good, and I took the time to listen and deep dive. Shout out to my man C Jones, he tapped in. Shout out to my homie Mia. Shout out to Sam.
What's up,
Shout out
Jones?
to Kelsey. Yep, Jones is tapped in. Shout out to Kelsey and everybody else Patrick, your bro, he tapped in on the interview. So shout out to y'all for sticking around, and also last idea before we go. C. Jones said Mars need to definitely do an animated series with music behind it.
Man, I would love that. I'm already thinking about comic books and whatnot.
That's
with
your
the character,
folio
you
guy.
know?
He just, I think he didn't go to full sale, C. Jones, but y'all can talk. Y'all can talk after
We can
this.
talk. Yeah, we can talk.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
we gotta all get on a FaceTime chat or something like that.
Yeah.
And exchange some ideas.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is episode 194 in the books. Yeah. I don't know which one to tap. Is this the one? No, they can't hear none of the stuff I'm tapping. But anyway, that's the episode. You know what I mean? I came unprepared with the soundscapes and stuff like that. But if you need the soundscape, definitely go to I Was There, Mars Native. Tap in with his music, man. Peace out, y'all.